Hello, you are listening to Between Sets. This is Fuzz.
Mike.
How you doing? You good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good, mate. We're good. We got a bit of catching up to do now. You've joined a networking club. Look at you.
Yeah. I know, right? Business. Do business.
Like a businessman. Talk to me.
Yeah.
Talk to me. How did you find it?
Different. I'm not sure if it was what I was expecting or not, to be honest. I mean, everyone's very friendly. Everyone's very welcoming. So if you're concerned about going to networking, everyone's there for the same reason, I suppose. So, yeah. I'm again keeping an open mind to it, but like you said, I think it takes a little while to start to see some benefits coming through from it, I think. So yeah, we will see what the next one holds.
Yeah. You see the potential.
Yeah, definitely. Because you've been doing that for a little while now, haven't you?
Oh yeah, like I started networking as soon as I started Fuzzy Logic, basically.
Yeah.
In January when we went properly live with it. I've gone to, I'd say, every single club there is in Kent. And there's so many that are very forced. And by that, what I mean is you have to refer people, even if you've been used before, just because they're in the same club as you.
Yeah.
And that is just not right. And that like BNI is a perfect example of that. And I rip into BNI quite a lot, even in front of people that still go to BNI. And I just think, this is my opinion, right? Okay. But if you have to be part of BNI, and the people who don't know what that is, it's one of the biggest networking. It's a fucking pyramid scheme, really. But basically, because your business is forced upon people, you could just be a really shit business offering just ridiculous services no one needs, or offering services at an extremely low quality and making money from it because you have to. Like, people have to refer you. Like, this, it is just a cult. Whereas the one that I've introduced you to is a lot more organic, and it promotes that, and it promotes that you don't have to refer anyone. You just you got an opportunity. You're in a room for a couple of hours. You can grab a drink if you want. You're stuck in a room with business owners, and it's as simple as that. And no one's forcing it. Like, you just have a chat, and I love that because then the true quality of your business shows.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly, I end up doing more networking for my wife that thing than I did for me, to be honest with you. So she's now got some work as doing like private tutoring and stuff like this.
You met Jack, yeah.
Again, really nice fella. So I sorted that out for her. But yeah, interesting. Like you say, it's very organic. There's nothing like, you're not, aside from standing up and introducing yourself, which again you've kind of got to expect to be able to do at some point.
Yeah.
Everyone's really nice there and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to keep an open mind to it. I think just see where it leads.
It's like for you, it's just word of mouth, and it's just opening up more doors for you, especially commercially, when you want to be doing focusing on business, like doing massaging as like a benefit of a company or whatever.
Yeah.
For you, it's just you got to basically persuade and influence a business owner that they're going to see more productivity from their staff if they get a massage every month. Do you know what I mean? But it's the same thing. And the thing is, that's quite easily done.
Yeah. I mean, I've got an example of that. So one of my clients, Damien, he, as pandemic has done, he now works from home majority of the time, right? And he has to go into the office he has to go in once a week or something like this, right? And then they have someone that comes in to do sports massages. So if we're going once a week, and then when he finds out that that's going on, once a month, he's there as well for that. Doesn't miss that opportunity. So
yeah,
if anything, there's an option.
Yeah. And talking of, we've actually got some guests booked, haven't we? Which is good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think we got, definitely one for the next podcast.
Yeah. And potentially one at some point.
One for the following after, or if we want to break it up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll break it up a bit. We'll break it up. You guys want Fuzz Mike? Fuck the guests. We only get guests on to expand the fucking reach. That's all we do, mate.
Right.
No, we do. I'm very nosy. That's my issue when I go to these networking events, is that I don't even end up advertising myself. I'm just like, what do you do? How many kids you got?
Yeah.
Are you married? It's like being
I
at like
mean,
a first date.
there was one chap I think who you were talking to, who I want to contact him. I sent him a message afterwards, just sort of apologize. I said sorry, I didn't really get around to speaking to you, but either at the next one or in between, then I'm going to drop him a message. So he's that business coach. I don't know if you've managed to speak to him yet.
Yeah. Obviously, I was talking to him. I knew him anyway before.
Mm.
I bumped into him at a golf course that I was filming at. Yeah, he's. I don't know why. Like, he's a millionaire. It's weird. Like, I did ask him, like, why are you still? Like, why don't you just retire? He's like, I've got
Yeah,
5 kids. I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense.
yeah, fair.
If he enjoys doing it, like, I don't really believe in business coaches, but at the
Mm.
same time, 6 months ago, I didn't really believe in therapy. So
And there we are.
by that, I mean, like, I don't mean like they're like unicorns. I mean, I don't know if it
It
actually
doesn't exist.
works. Yeah. But therapy, I swear by now. And
So, do you think
yeah,
that is genuinely helping you?
the therapy,
Mm.
yes, it is like, especially at first, like, I don't know. I've not really seen any other therapists, but I'm speaking to a lot of people now about therapists and therapy.
Yep.
And it very is much like you have to just get the right person for you. It's just like having a
Yeah.
PT, I'd say. If you don't get
Yep.
on and if there's no synergy or relationship, then it's just you're just paying a lot of money for nothing. But I do think
And you don't think that's necessarily a quality thing. You think that's like a personality thing.
it's a personality thing, a quality thing, 100%. Like, I would
Yep.
say she's an expert in what I have, ADHD and OCD. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even know anything about it really beforehand.
Yep.
No, seriously, yeah, it's really good. And if anybody's thinking about it, I think I already said this in the past. It's worth just taking up one session. It's just like having a PT. Just you don't have to sign up for a whole month. Just take up one session, see how it goes, see if the synergy's there, and go from there. Like, talking of PTs, I've very randomly, just out of the blue, started a transformation program. I'm not sure if you've
Ooh.
seen.
I've seen a bit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
How's it going?
so yeah. So I literally only started advertising it last week. So basically, right, I've not struggled to get clients, but I've not really like pushed and pushed and pushed because it's not paying as much as my main business.
Yep.
It was just there if anybody wants to have a PT session. That's why I didn't really offer programs at first. Then I started offering programs like monthly subscriptions if they want to do that, which I've got a few on.
Mm.
And they kind of suggested it. They said, like, you should start doing classes. And I'm like, I'm not really a big fan of classes, to be honest with you. But at some point, I'm sure I will. And then I was thinking to myself, how am I ever going to exceed my hourly rate? And the only way that you can really do that is to get more people and therefore have classes. And I'm like, but even if I started charging £5 per class, I would need a minimum of 8 people in the class. And I was thinking, how do I? And then I was just thinking, right, let's just go all out. Let's just see if anybody signs up to this, like £222 for 11 weeks. It's quite intense. Like, they'll have access to like all the program and blah 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 blah. However, instead of making £40 an hour, or £40 an hour for training, I'm theoretically making £157 an hour.
Yep.
Like, because it's just a one class a week. Like, if it works, I'm a genius. If it doesn't, then yeah. But what I might have to do is just do a couple of classes a week rather than just the one. Even then, I'm still doubling my money. Like,
Even if you do two a week instead of the one, then that's beneficial.
But we're all learning.
What type of class are you going to be teaching to get these people to transform? Would be my question.
So yeah, so part of the package is basically you are finding what drives you. You're finding what the difference is between having to work out and getting to work out. If you're enjoying your workout, if you're enjoying your lifestyle, then you're going to consistently be fit without even having to try. So every week, I'm offering my team something different, something they've not done before. I've invested a lot in like boxing gloves, boxing pads. I'm gonna buy some aerobic steps because in their studio, it's just a blank studio. They've got no equipment like that.
Yep.
But then if I've got that and if I'm enjoying it, then I can take this on the road a little bit. I can maybe do it at the village hall, whatever. Because
yeah, definitely.
yeah, do you know what I mean? I see that there's an opportunity there, and do you know what I'm like? If I see something, I'll just go all in.
Namely on
But
cameras.
yeah, we'll see. Sorry.
Namely on cameras and cases for cameras.
There'll be little hidden cameras everywhere. I'll tell everyone you're being recorded. Sorry, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Dude, how much milk is in that tea?
Yeah,
Coffee?
no, it's a coffee. It's a coffee. Yeah. No, oh, it's the camera angle and the lighting.
That is a cup of milk, sir.
No, it's not. It's not. Trust me, it's the lighting. It's the light. I've got
Guys,
lights everywhere.
You can comment on this one: coffee or milk, one or the other.
Yeah. Tell you what, it is coffee because I'm fucking buzzing.
Yeah. So I mean, on the subject of like your transformation stuff, a large part of that is diet essentially. And I saw an advert the other day on YouTube, just pops up because obviously YouTube knows what I'm interested in, and it's really annoyed me. It's really bugged me because this is an advert for a weight loss company. And I can see this going the way of that, they're trying to be the next Slimming World, Weight Watchers, all this kind of stuff. But there's certain words in here, and I've written down some quotes because I want to get this right. Weirdly, I haven't actually written down the name of the company because, again, I don't want to promote any of this bollocks. So I've got 3 quotes here, and I want you to have a listen and see what you think after each one. So they have some people on, and they're doing some voiceovers and stuff like this. And the first one is, tired of being told to eat less and move more.
Okay.
Yeah, that's number 1. And then this company apparently.
So I just asked who, but I know you don't want to say. But
yeah, no, I'm giving no names on this because again, I don't want any traffic going their way. The next one is they're going to address all of your weight loss issues with biology.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
That one I take personally, but we'll come to that. And then the last one is eat all the right foods. The right foods, right?
The thing is, I know what you mean. Like, you know what I'm like. I love playing devil's advocate, and you have to. Like, I feel wrong sometimes when I mention weight loss. Like, I'm like that isn't everyone's goal. But even then, it's you're trying to get the attention of an audience that isn't aware of like the science behind it all.
Yeah. And
I'm not sure whether they're trying to use that or they genuinely are just retarded.
Yeah, they're trying to capture the attention of the average person.
Yeah,
and using buzzwords, which okay, fine. But it kind of bugs me when people say, and it is a genuine thing. Like people are told, "Oh, you need to eat less and move more," right? And people go, "Oh, yeah, but it's not that simple." It is, but there's nuance to it, there's context to it, and this is where we come in terms of trainers and knowledge comes into it. But in a basic level, it is exactly that. And to be honest with you don't even need to move more. That just makes things easier. Eating less or controlling what you're eating is the main one. But then, the next one got me. We're going to address your weight loss issues with biology. Like number one, you don't have weight loss issues. You either have willpower issues or a lack of understanding of what you're eating, probably a combination of the two because that's just how we're made, that's how we're wired. But the way that you've gained weight is your biology. How you equally lose weight is biology. Like you existing is biology. And again, like that's just human biology is human biology. Like it is what it is. You can't say you're going to address this problem using biology. Like otherwise doctors would just be able to like snap their fingers and resolve the problem,
Yeah. Like from my experience, and everyone's got different sort of perceptions on weight gain. Like you've never really been massive. Like have you? I
got fat before.
You have? I've not seen photos.
When I was at university, I definitely had a belly going on because I actively wanted to gain weight. And again, this is kind of before my real understanding of like fitness and eating really took off. But I thought, sort of this, I'm just going to get some calories in. So I did have you ever heard of the Go Mad Challenge?
No. Go ahead.
So
is it biology related?
Kind of. I mean, it certainly affects your biology. So it's strength training and you pair it with something like 5x5 strong lifts, that sort of thing, where you're lifting as heavy as possible. And it is a gallon of whole milk a day. So for reference, if you don't know what a gallon is, that's 8 pints of whole milk a day.
What the fuck are you, a fireman? What's that about?
Calories. It's just easy calories. You're meant to do that alongside eating food as well. So you have to really time when you're drinking this, because otherwise you won't be
You must
hungry.
be shitting like a fucking cow.
Well, no, it's like, it causes severe constipation and all kinds of issues. But
Oh, really? I thought it'd be like diarrhea.com.
I do. No. That stuff, once that's in, you don't want to leave. It causes,
Yeah, to be
Anyway,
fair, bungs you up, doesn't it?
oh yeah, horrendous. But I mean, if you want to
Because we're
gain
not
weight,
meant
you'll
to
gain
really
weight.
drink milk, are we? Really, like as humans, like if you think about it, I think we've already had this conversation. But so what sort of fucking pervert discovered milk? It's just mental.
We have. I mean, meant to is probably not something we want to go into, because I don't know what that means. But
Yeah,
in terms of culturally, like Western European cultures specifically, we're more geared towards drinking dairy and eating dairy products. Like if you go to Asian cultures, not necessarily India because they have yogurt, but certainly like Chinese, Japanese, Korean cultures, they're all incredibly lactose intolerant. Like it causes big problems for them, just
it's
because they
evolution, isn't
haven't.
it? So, I mean, it's amazing how evolution works, but like
Yeah,
around
and
the country, not country,
it's
world, I should say.
yeah. I mean, it's a production of certain enzymes, and coincidentally, you also have in. Have you ever heard of the thing? It's called Asian glow.
No, we're
So
not being
it's
racist here, are we?
no, and that well, no. Um, but in Asian cultures again, so I think it's more. I'm going to say Japanese, but it could be Chinese as well. Something I studied in university was they sometimes lack an enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase, which is how your body for us would break down alcohol. So essentially, they end up with more of a byproduct, which causes their skin to like literally glow, like go
Oh,
red.
wow.
Some people over here have it, but it's nowhere near as common as in Asia. Just a
You
little
learn
bit.
something
That's
every day.
biology, bitch.
You are full of facts, aren't you?
Yeah.
You should do your own
Other
little
than useful.
side podcast of just like 5 minutes of just facts.
Yeah. Do you know what? An upcoming project of mine is to be more active on social media.
Yeah.
So I think that might form part of it. Like just hear some random gubbins, do with that information what you want.
Yeah. Social media management is like it's not exhausting. I find like you got to find what your barrier is. Like what's stopping you, because I don't think time's stopping you from social media.
Oh, I know exactly what's stopping me is having a camera put in front of me. Like, do you know the
You're
way
going to have to do
see,
that.
kind of? I mean, I can see myself now, right? And I know logically I'm on camera, but because I'm having a conversation, it's not so much of an issue. And I think that's kind of the way I'm going to have to try and
That's
pivot
how I
my
do
brain
it.
into
Yeah.
into
That's
doing
how I
it,
do my
because
videography.
like you've hold on, let me frame this. You've filmed me for advertisements for my business.
Yeah.
There, wants to get all that in one breath. Um, um, and as soon as the camera gets put in front of me, I just go, don't
Yeah.
like it.
I had a
I know
meeting
what
with
it
a
is.
client on Monday actually, and they're the same. Like they want to invest in social media, and getting like basically they want to invest in me, putting them in front of the camera. But they're the same. They're like, I just hate the camera. But I'm like, basically, we'll spend a whole day filming, and probably the first hour, even maybe the first 2 hours, is probably going to be scrapped because
Mhm.
you're just finding your feet. You're trying to gain your confidence in front of the camera. So I said to her, like, what you're better off doing is literally recording yourself daily, holding like a selfie, just talking into the camera, and then
Mm.
you haven't got to post it, but you're used to listening into it and watching it and knowing what you sound like because obviously we sound different in our heads than we actually do,
Yep.
and we just
That's, ugh,
But I was the
yeah, you
same 2 years
don't like that.
ago. Yeah, I hated my voice, but now I'm fucking editing these every single fucking week or something.
Hmm.
I
That and the massive ego boost you get from the likes of some other audience, like calling you Captain Smooth Voice, and
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, I'm not sure if I should really share this on.
you're going to.
I might have to delete it. I don't know. But check
Okay, go
this.
on.
Check this out for a review. Well, you met Dave, didn't you? So he hosts the business clubs.
Yeah.
And I've been doing some work with him. I think, I did some videography for him last night. This is his. It's you know how much I hate voice notes, but this one got me. Bear in mind,
Okay.
he is not drunk. He sounds it.
I feel like I know what's coming. Yeah, go on.
He's fully sober. Like he's been sober for 10 years.
But let's be blunt. Let's be like really blunt here. Yeah. You've got people in the industry that are literally blowing up about how good you are. You know, filming this, whilst doing that. Mate, you are a genius. Real genius at what you do, and you don't even know you're there, mate.
My head could not through the door since he sent me that voice note.
Do you need a referral to a proctologist? Because I feel like he's like head and shoulders up there right now. You know what I mean?
And do you know what? Because he was out of
ankles.
breath, it sounded like he was having a wank at the same time. And I'm like, this guy, I think I've got someone's got a crush on me.
Oh no!
But that was mental, wasn't it? I received that like
Yeah.
10 o'clock at night last night, and I'm like, what do I do with that? How do I even respond? And he called me earlier as well, and I'm like, by the way, I just didn't know how to respond to that voice note, so I didn't. I'm not being rude.
Yeah, fair. I mean, so do you know what's weird? So I put a screenshot with a link to the website that you set up for me for inquiries and stuff like that. I was like, look, here's all the information. Go grab it if you want to. So I got a message like, oh, where'd you set it up? How'd you do that? From a guy that I was doing the sports massages with, who's also a personal trainer and stuff like this. It's like, so I sent it across your page, so you might have another thing come through from that. Honestly, like,
mate, I won't lie to you.
The amount of business I send your way is just untrue.
I won't lie to you. I'm fucking inundated. Like, literally, it's mental. I'm really struggling to time manage again. I finally got a grip of the things like waking up at 7 a.m. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to start waking up at 5 a.m. just to fucking work now again. Like, I know.
You're in demand. That's a good position to be in. You say, look, I'm busy. Here is when I can next get this to you for. You don't adjust your time for that. Like, if anything, you hire people. You know?
Yeah. I've got to start being more like, because I keep promising people like 3-week turnarounds. Like at first of it was 2-week turnarounds, and now I'm going to have to start saying it's a month, and then it could even be a 2-month. Like I'm doing this like app for this cleaner, so it's just a normal cleaner, for instance. And this is probably it's me bragging a little bit, but there's this cleaner he's been a cleaner for 20 years. He's just been very old school, pen and paper, even his bookkeeping. He basically got the full package from me. He wanted to get everything. Automatic bookkeeping, automatic like booking systems, the lot. And I don't think anything like this exists, but basically what I've done on his website, you can create your own quote. So he cleans like carpets, ovens, the lot, everything. And you can basically see on his website, anything that you want doing in your house, you just use his quote calculator, you measure up your room if you have to. You don't have to. You can just say, I can't be asked and get Gavin to do it or whatever. But and it just literally just tells you how much it's going to be. And then once you're happy with that quote, you just press book now. You see his diary. You book it into his diary. Depending on how much you've ordered will depend on how long it will take him and how much of his diary is free. And literally the whole thing is run all through the website. He hasn't even got to fucking talk to you. But obviously that's not attracting like old people, so they can still call him and stuff if they need to. But he's just widened his target audience because the amount of people that order from Uber Eats because they can't be asked to talk to someone. They spend an extra £5.
Something that I noticed when I was in the corporate world, especially, like there is a generational divide. Whereas, weirdly, I'm quite happy to pick up a phone and talk to whoever about whatever problem, and it gets resolved quite quickly. But like people, even like a year or two younger than me, and sometimes just a little bit older than what we are, don't like talking on the phone. Like won't pick up a phone. It's like what is a 2-minute conversation on the phone ends up being a chain of 20 odd emails.
My wife's the same. My wife is the same. And what's funny is that she's a lawyer, so she's on the phone quite a lot to clients.
Yeah.
But outside, as soon as like 5 o'clock hits, like she will do her best to like find a way of not phoning them. Like even when she's trying to book her car in for an MOT, like she only books it at places like A2 Tires up the road because they can accept it through either Facebook Messenger or
what is that
website.
though? I'd be interested to know why is that for her, because she's clearly very confident and capable of talking to people. You know, getting her point across.
Isn't it? That's all it is, isn't it? It's just
self-doubt.
Booking
MOT, like
it's self-doubt. It's obviously that stereotypical sort of like female talking to a mechanic. They don't want to be like taking the piss out of.
That would be me. Like I know F all about cars. I like cars, but I don't know anything about them.
Yeah. But I won't lie to you, I do trust A2 tyres. Like, I've been using them for quite a long time now. Before that, I was using Formula One Auto Centre, and they do take the piss out of you, I won't lie.
Yeah. I mean, any time I've gone to A2, funnily enough, that's who we used to use at the Volkswagen Centre as well to sort out damaged tyres and things like this.
Oh, well.
I've gone to them before because, if you've got tyres on your car for a year, you kind of sort of assume, okay, it's probably about time to, but, they'll tell you that these are probably good for another 3-4 months or so. Just come back, set a reminder in your diary, come back then.
Yeah. The genuine people.
Sponsor us.
That's what I love about these businesses, like follow the same sort of like motto, I guess. It's the customer obsession side. It's like, what are you going to prioritize as a business owner? Customer obsession or money obsession?
I mean, the thing is, if you prioritize customers, money will come.
This is it.
It's as simple as that. If you provide a good enough service and you're honest with people, people will keep coming back to you because they know they're getting a good service. You're not taking the piss out of them. And they'll get more repeat businesses from that as a result. It's the age-old thing of life. It's, don't be a dick.
Oh, yeah. This is it. You haven't got to be religious to not be a dick. You haven't got to get God to tell you not to be a C word. Almost went there.
Yep.
I bumped into this woman last night who is a
Did you apologise?
business owner. What? Oh, fun times. Good fun times. I didn't actually. But no, so basically, this woman, she's a hypnotherapist. So I was already thinking, can I get on the podcast? And then she's like, she's literally just there networking to get sponsorship and get stuff done because she's planning on climbing Kilimanjaro in 2 weeks without any fucking training.
That's a bad idea. Don't do that.
100%. And I said this to her. I'm like, that's mental. But I tell you what,
is she aware that she will probably be stopped and told, no, you can't do that? Because it's not something you can just go and do.
So she's got like a whole team behind her.
Okay.
Like paramedics and climbing experts and all that lot.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
She's not just going to Kilimanjaro and just taking it on.
I don't mean this in a rude way, but is she like physically capable?
Oh yeah, I don't know. You can start to tell she's not overweight. She looks fit. She looks fit enough.
Okay.
But yeah, I just got talking to her at the networking event and then after the networking event. And I said to her, I've donated 50 quid to her. Right? I said, look, here's 50 quid.
Yeah.
If you don't make it to the top, you owe me 100. This is a betting game now.
Like, most people, when they say they're climbing Kilimanjaro, sometimes they just climb to the base camp. It's professional climbers will try going up Kilimanjaro with whole support teams and they'll die. Like, it is beyond base camp. It's not a good place to be.
So she was explaining
madness.
It's because of the different levels of like oxygen and all that lot. You can't climb it all at once. In you have to stop at certain points just to climatize to the level of oxygen and stuff. So it takes a week to climb to the top, and then takes only a day to climb down. Yeah, apparently, this is what she was saying. Yeah,
it's kind of the reverse effect of coming up from a deep sea dive, essentially. So if you come up too quickly from a deep sea dive, you get something called the bends. Nitrogen levels are too high in your blood, and you just die horribly.
Fun times. But I am I mentioned it to her yesterday. I said, look, afterwards, I would love to get you on the podcast. By all means, obviously promote the business and stuff. And I am interested in hypnotherapy.
When we get her on before, do you think? And then, if it's in 2 weeks, probably not. But get her on before, and then afterwards, we just say, and she didn't make it.
Yeah, I don't think she'll want to come on.
Yeah.
But I just find this stuff so amazing. That's what I love about networking as well. Is that you meet these amazing people. It's a contrast. You meet some absolute pricks. I won't lie to you. But you meet some amazing people.
Have you spoken to your therapist about hypnotherapy yet?
Yeah. So there's a hypnotherapist that I'm not sure if I mentioned it. This is it now, right? We're what? I don't know how many episodes we're in now. 40 episodes in. I don't know what we've already fucking spoken about. So if we're repeating ourselves, guys, let us know. We're going fucking crazy.
If we've forgotten, it's very likely whoever's listening has forgotten as well.
I don't know.
I mean, crack on. We're just recycling good material here.
But you might have some people that binge in episodes. They might be watching 7 episodes a week.
Who? They're like an hour long. Who's doing that?
People that are on holiday, I don't know.
Guys, if you've ever listened to more than one of these episodes back to back, please get in contact with us. We've got a mug for you.
We got a mug for you. I knew you were going to go somewhere. I don't know if I might have lost it by now.
Oh,
We got a fucking mug. Tell you what, they are the mug. Why are they fucking listening to 2 episodes? And I go, I say I've got another fucking query. I need to. Do you know what I need to do? I need to turn my phone off. Sorry.
100%.
It's like, as much as I'm like, seriously, like, I'm going through emotional stages recently where I'm like, I can't believe, like, we never knew each other. Obviously, we've already known each other for a couple of years now.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, right, I didn't go anywhere without a camera. Like, I was obsessed with videography as a child.
You know what?
What?
I can believe it.
Oh, yeah.
I
100%.
really can. Honestly, that doesn't shock me.
But then, obviously, life happens. And, like, I never even thought that I could get paid to do, like, to just point cameras at shit. Seriously. And, like, literally, the last few weeks, I'm just like, I'm getting paid to do this. This is mental.
Yeah.
It's
insane.
crazy,
Like,
seriously.
when you
I feel
actively
like I
think
won the
about
lottery.
But I kind of have those moments myself sometimes, and you'll probably get it with training as well, where you stop and you go, my job's weird.
This is weird,
Like,
yeah.
it is. Like, I'm telling people to pick something up, put it down again in a certain way for a certain number of times until they're in pain and getting paid for it.
Yeah,
That's
see,
odd.
do you know what though? That what I love about PTing is that, like, it's obviously it's natural to you now. And I think it's starting to become natural to me, like the form side of it, and like. But what I love about PTing is it's just like networking. You just have a good chat for an hour, and like you make them laugh, and you share like hilarious stories. Or some weeks it's completely different. They've had a really shit day, and you kind of just a therapist or whatever.
Yep.
And I love that side of it. I really do. And also improvising. Like, I don't plan. I'm not sure if you probably stopped doing that years ago, but I don't plan sessions at all anymore. I just say to them, like, what we're doing today, pull or push, or legs or whatever.
Yep.
And then you just kind of go, right, let's just make this as fun as we possibly can. And obviously, you want to do stuff that's completely away from their program. Otherwise, you might as well just not fucking be there.
Yeah, pretty much. And sometimes you want to go back to the program to really like dial in form and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's exactly like you said there. I think it's a really good sign of someone who understands what they're doing when you don't have to have a script as such. You don't have to follow it. I'm doing this and this and this and this. Because in a commercial gym environment, with the best will in the world, that's never going to work. Like, if you're in a busy gym, unless you're in there at like 2 a.m, that's not going to work. So the best way to go about it, in my mind, is understand training principles. Okay, so like you said, a push session, right? So I want to hit compound lifts first. So warm up compound lifts. So whether it's an overhead press, barbell press, dumbbell press, whatever it happens to be, whether that's flat, incline, cool. And then you might hit another one, a lighter version of that on the reverse. So incline versus flat. You might go on to more of an isolation movement like flies, so on, so on, so on. And then triceps, it might be a compound lift for triceps. Dips, you can put them after your main compound lift if you want to, because it just depends on what order you want to go about things. But once you understand those principles and you understand what it is that you're trying to achieve based on that person's goals, do they want to be stronger, fitter, bigger, more muscular, whatever it happens to be, you just go. And it's just, you just go off on a tangent in whatever way you want to. And there's no right or wrong way of doing that.
100%. Like, yeah, even me, like, I don't remember the words to a lot of stuff, as you know, like the scientific terms, but I can explain it. I can dumb it down. What's funny is that I'm dumbing it down without knowing about it because I'm fucking dumb. But at least they understand it because I'm not using like long words by accident because I don't even know what the fuck they mean anyway. You just improvise.
I've come up with just the humorous way to get across my geeky points. I just kind of, as I'm explaining something, I'll get to that point and I'll go, and now we're going to, and they just get it. They know something geeky is about to happen. They just accept it.
Geek mode turned on. Geek mode activated. I was going to mention something and I completely forgot. That's it. Yeah, back to the 11 thing. So what's also fun about this is I was playing around with a lot of like digital marketing to do this because I've not needed clients as such, right? I've just kind of like put it out there. If they want me to use me, they can use me, whatever. But with this 11th thing, I'm like, I don't want to fail here. I want to get 11 people for this specific date, which is the 16th of September. And I only started advertising it last week. Like, to be fair, last Tuesday was the day where I was like, I just decided to let's just do this. Let's try it out. literally day one, I had one person interested, which I was just like, wow, because it took me like a month and a half just to get a client when I started being PT.
Yeah.
I've now got eight
Yep.
people signed up, and it's not even fucking September yet. It's mental.
Mad,
And
isn't
do you know what though? It's not word of mouth. What I've really pushed, like digital marketing, is like amazing, and I think it's like 100% needed for all PTs. But 90% of the people that have signed up are because I have paid for an ad on Instagram and Facebook. I've only spent £35, but I've had
Okay.
5,000 views of videos across the Sittingbourne area. Which, do you know what I mean? So that's amazing, but you have to have the content behind it. Like I could have easily improved those videos, but I just didn't have the time. And there's no point when you know what I mean. I just
It's
thought
funny you
I've got
mentioned
it.
that. So I was training with Zara this morning, here a little bit of a leg session. And funny enough, she mentioned her husband Wayne happened to mention, I keep seeing Fuzz everywhere at the moment.
Really,
And
is
so
what I'm
wherever
saying.
advert, the 4,000 of those clicks are probably him.
Just having a wank. But that's good news. That's it.
It's
Like
mad.
he's branding.
But like, what's your, so in terms of advertising, I've never really gone down that route for advertising. I've not really had much of a need to. It's probably something that's going to be coming in the near future. Foreshadowing. Look out for recent upcoming projects, guys. It's going to be exciting. But what's your parameters for that? Obviously, you're doing like a geographic thing, so like around where we live, essentially. But like, are you doing like an age
But
range?
what a
Like,
lot of
are you
people,
targeting certain keywords?
what a lot of people kind of they make the mistake of targeting an audience based on interests, right? Now, you tell me from your experience, what are the interests that are in common with all your clients?
Me.
Apart from you, what's the most like? What is a common interest? If you're going to get all your clients together, what's that
Yep.
common interest?
Yeah, it's exactly that. There isn't one.
There isn't one. Exactly that.
No.
Exactly that. So you literally just have to. The only thing you can change is the age group and the location. Whereas a lot of PTs and like any sort of industry, they try and target specific interests. Now, if a person was interested in health and fitness, why the fuck would they need a PT? Theoretically, you should tick every single box apart from that box. Whereas a lot of PTs like, well, we kind of want to target these people that are like that are interested in health and fitness. I'm like, no, you don't, mate, because they're not the people. They're not the people that are going to be benefiting from you.
Well, and equally, just in terms of logically how you search for things on the internet, if you're interested in health and fitness, that's already going to be thrown your way anyway.
Yeah.
Or you're already going to be actively searching. You know, if you're actively interested in a personal trainer, you're probably already searching for personal trainers. So logically, it makes sense. You kind of want to exclude them almost. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. So that's kind of what I did. It's just you just got to target everyone, and it is luck. Like not everyone's going to want a PT. But the thing is, if you've got good content, like mine was probably like 4 out of 10 to what my best quality is. I just recorded a video. I was meant to work out that morning. I'm like, I'm not really in the mood. I'm just going to record a video instead, just see how it goes. All I had on me was
We're
my
going to have
phone.
a chat after this.
And it went really well. And obviously, it's just getting a message across. And obviously, as you know, the first 3 seconds of any video is extremely important. So what I did is I recorded 6 different hooks for all the different social media platforms. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but on Facebook, there's a different hook. So like on Instagram and on TikTok, and then on LinkedIn
really?
as well, there's a different hook.
Okay.
And it's just really important to capture your target audience between each platform. So obviously, Instagram is very different because Instagram is really hard to target specific like location audience. I find Instagram's a lot more like online coachy. Like you're like most of my followers probably aren't even in Sittingbourne. They just started randomly following me because of my videos.
Yeah.
Whereas Facebook, I find really good for local. Like I've had the most success through Facebook advertising.
Right. Okay. Is there? I want to phrase this correctly. Is there a certain age group which you find coming through from Facebook?
Well, successfully, what I've targeted, my average age group that I've signed up to the 11 is 50.
Yeah.
And female.
And majority from Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's exactly that. So Instagram is more likely to cater to the younger person, I would
Yeah.
say. Sort of like, 35 and below, I would argue, is probably Instagram.
Mm.
Over that is more the Facebook era, or what's more comfortable on Facebook. How have you found LinkedIn? I don't do anything on LinkedIn. I'm not good
No.
with it.
So
I have a
LinkedIn,
profile, but
obviously, the only people
it's
that
sat
look at
there.
your, like, there's no point really adding hashtags to your posts on LinkedIn, to be honest. Because LinkedIn, only people that can really see the post are your connections or anyone that's following you.
Okay.
So LinkedIn's really good if you're networking, because it's really important to get as many connections as you possibly can, because you're widening your views. If you want to send out a newsletter on LinkedIn, it's perfect if you've got like 5,000 plus followers, because
Yep.
like it's bound that 1 out of 1,000 people are probably going to purchase from you, because they're all businesses. They're all ready to buy. But obviously, from a fitness aspect, I've not had any interest. They've loved the videos and they've loved the idea behind it, and they've shown a bit of interest. But I know they're not taking it seriously, because their number one priority is their business.
I mean, I do find it interesting, and you've probably seen these on Instagram where, you see an online coach or a PT or whatever else, and they'll say in their bio, I help men between the ages of 24 to 26 who are exclusively builders gain muscle and lose body fat. Like, why go so niche? Can you only help that very small demographic?
It
Or
is odd,
like,
isn't it? I do
what's the
find
benefit? I
that.
don't get it.
I'm not sure if it's because they've kind of gone through years and years of PTing, and they're like, look, because at the end of the day, when you're starting off a business, it's really hard to like have a niche from that eye side of things. You can't just focus on a specific target audience, because you're still trying to find your feet, but two, you need money. You need to accept what's coming in. So it does take a while for you to go, well, actually, I just want to cater for this audience because I find it more enjoyable. It's a lot easier for me. Like, I had the same meeting on Monday, where she's been doing like dealing with very small businesses. And she said, I'm way too overqualified now, and it's a lot more work. I'd rather be paid more money and do less work. And the way to do that is obviously to kind of, cater to the audience. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's really
this
risky
is
at
the thing.
first.
I get it. Like, I'm 3 years into training people now, and I do seem to have found my niche. Which again, I kind of knew it was going to go this way at some point, but it's very much in the lifting category. Like, I'm not a conditioning coach. I'm not like a high roxy CrossFitter type. That's not me. But majority of my clients are strength trainees, bodybuildy types, not necessarily competitively, but want to build muscle actively and want to know the best ways to do that. And I think people are kind of drawn to me because they want to learn specifically. Like,
This is it.
they don't just want to be told what to do.
Like, I know it's really risky for you, but from my opinion, and I shouldn't be saying this because a lot of your clients are probably listening to this, but from your amount of knowledge and experience in the subject that you're teaching, you're undercharging.
Yeah.
But that's because obviously you've kind of gotten yourself into a position that if you were to increase your prices, that it could impact obviously your clientele, and like you would need to target a completely new audience. And how do you do that? How do you juggle a sort of £40 an hour to £80 an hour, for instance?
Yeah. I think, I mean, again, upcoming projects being what they are, I think that's kind of the next step for me. So I'd probably maintain where I'm at with what I'm at, and then start to target and be very specific with a new audience.
You've got like qualities that you need to think about that are outside of your realm, like the equipment. Like, obviously, the minute you're a Snap Fitness, right? Like, that's always going to hold. Even the best personal trainer, are you going to be able to like charge £100 an hour when you're dealing with that equipment? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Whereas at places like we've been there, Core Gym, they've got premium equipment. Like, I think you could quite easily increase. If you're one of the best PTs in the area, that's a perfect place to go, I would say. But then obviously you're always going to have PTs in the same room as you that's charging less than half than what you're charging. But then they're targeting a completely different audience.
It's one of these difficult things where your environment kind of dictates what you can and can't get away with and what you can do. I don't mean get away with in a bad way, but you can charge whatever you want, but it doesn't mean people are necessarily going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. So I've been into Bannatyne gyms for like spa days and stuff like this, and I've been into a David Lloyd's gym, and funnily enough, I was in one of the like hot tub things, and I happened to get chatting to one of their PTs, and genuinely he charges about double per hour what I charge.
Wow.
And we get into the conversation, and he shouldn't know. Like, I'm surprised he has a job there. To just be perfectly honest, I don't mean to discredit or anything like that. It's not necessarily his fault, but environment plays a big factor in that. Do I want to go down the route of going to London 1 day a week, 2 days a week, so on and so on? Because that's that really does justify what you can be charging. I think an issue with where we are is how many people are willing to pay that price level, that price point.
I do think though that there's a group out there. It's just finding them because they've never heard of you, and it's just finding that. It's like, how can we make these guys that are wanting to have that premium service aware that who you are, and also not just that, but also like they need to earn trust, and that's where social media just plays a massive part. Because no matter how rich you are or whatever, they're still fucking swiping on TikTok, believe it or not. Like, it's the same saying as like, the Queen used to wipe her own ass. Like, we're all doing the same shit every single day, whether you're poor or you're rich. Like, there's no way these YouTube millionaires are only targeting kids that are like working class. Of course they're not. Mr. Beast now has over 200 million subscribers. That's mental.
Do you get a dodgy feeling about that guy?
No. He's 100% genuine.
Are you sure?
Oh, 100%.
I'll go on the record now as saying that he's just a bit weird. There's something about someone who gets people to do weird shit for money. I don't know.
I think he's an absolute genius, personally. And that's coming from a genius.
I mean, yeah. But then equally, you could argue most like billionaires are geniuses, but there's definitely something a bit wrong with them.
Well, if you follow this story, like from like, because when he started YouTube, he always wanted to be as big as like PewDiePie. I'm not sure if you know who PewDiePie is, but he used to be one of the biggest YouTubers. And he used to do some stupid shit. Bearing in mind, like, he was a teenager still, but he used to do some really boring shit in front of the camera. Like, literally, like, he's just going to count to 1 billion, and he would just sit there for like a day, and you would just watch him. I don't know who the fuck was watching him. Just count to 1 billion, and random shit like that. And that he has his followers increased, he obviously evolved his content. And I honestly do think, he's invested in the right people. He's got business coaches. He's got, every single time he's had a penny, he's reinvested it in the business, and he still does that today. He lives at his office. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before in a previous podcast, but he has this massive warehouse, 2 of them, in fact, fucking massive, and like millions of pounds worth. Like, there's not a beam inside the warehouse. It's fully supported by its own sort of structure, so he could do anything that he wants in this space. And he decides, like, instead of more outgoings living somewhere else in a massive mansion or whatever, he's literally just got this office with him and his, I'm assuming wife, maybe girlfriend, lives in. Like, literally, it's probably the size of my living room.
Yeah.
And then a fancy toilet next to it. And that's it. That's his house. Because he's fully invested in, and he enjoys doing what he's doing.
It's mad.
It is mad. But if you don't just follow his main channel, he's got like a philanthropy channel as well. So he gives a lot of his money back to people that need it. And he makes content out of that, which makes even more money to send back to the people that need it. It's absolutely genius, in my opinion.
Is that philanthropy?
Have you seen the videos?
What's the? I haven't. I suppose the term I'm
so like altruism. The latest one is like he's built 100 wells in Africa. Oh, he's built like 1,000 houses. He built,
but it's on video, right? So altruism is when it's like selfless, right?
Yeah, but he's doing it on video for views, for their money to do it again.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair.
If you don't make money out of it, then how can you keep doing it?
Yeah, no, fair point.
That's why I think it's genius.
Self-proliferating charity, essentially.
Yeah, honestly, like, in my opinion, everyone's got different opinions, but in my opinion, he is doing it selflessly, but he's doing it He's not doing it like, oh, look at me, this is what I'm doing. Because some of the videos he's not even in. He's just on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Like he is.
It's mad.
Yeah.
It makes. I mean, this is the thing with like charities, like Oxfam and all this kind of stuff. Like so much of them, there's so much corruption involved with it. That money's donated, and so little of it actually reaches where it's meant to go because there's people.
He's very transparent about that.
Yeah, like overinflated salaries and all this kind of stuff. So
that is one thing that. Yeah, I didn't know that until recently. But people, saying that though, they can't. If you own a charity, you can't make money out of it.
No, but there's like legal loopholes and this kind of thing. So
you can employ somebody to run it for you.
Someone, or you're a trustee, or it's just dodgy, really dodgy.
It is a little bit odd, yeah. But there's so many people that I know that run charities, and I have to ask myself, like, why are you doing that? But there's one actually. To be fair, she got a genuine point as well. So she runs this charity called fucking hell. I forgot what it's called now, but basically what they do is they train dogs to react to people who struggle with diabetes type 1. Right. The dogs will know when they're about to have like a seizure or something, or when they're going to be needed.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do that. It's mental.
Dogs are just mad. They can just smell things.
Yeah. But you think to yourself, like, how are they making money? How if this is a charity, what they like, do you know what I mean? Like, what are they doing to benefit from this? And theoretically, this one made sense to me. Basically, she used to be an officer. She got into a car crash in the job. So she basically retired. They were going to keep paying her up until when she would have retired because of her injuries.
Right.
So if you're getting paid anyway, you might as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Help people. It makes sense.
Yeah, fair point. I think that's probably the one obvious answer. I'm being paid regardless and just want to do something useful.
Exactly.
Fair play to that, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Whereas you get a lot of people that are like that I know there's a lot of people that I've bumped into, and I'm sure you're probably the same because you used to be an officer, where they look for opportunities to get injured.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. We had one in the gym not too long ago, actually. Yeah. So, I mean, funny enough, was a trainer over at the gym where you are now currently. And so if you imagine a barbell, you've got the collars on the end of it, right? And they rotate separately so that when you're going through a squat, if a bar is moving on your back, the plates can rotate, but the bar stays stationary, right?
Yeah.
That's how a bar is meant to work. And he was going through a squat, dodgy squat form, went down, kind of rounded his back under, and said the bar rolled on his back, and therefore it was equipment fault and hurt his back. I'm like, dude, no. And genuinely, like, put a claim through against the gym's insurance.
And he won?
I have no idea. I don't care. But,
no way, but yeah.
It's just outright user error in that regard. But
yeah. This is it. And I think a lot of these 24/7 gyms, like, they kind of leave a lot open to that sort of deal.
Yep.
I think if I was going to own a gym, I don't know if I'd ever go 24/7. I don't think I'd have the balls to.
Never. It's just not needed. It's really not needed.
No, especially when there's already some out there. But at the same time, like, I would love, like, every time I've gone to the gym really early, I've always been the only one there.
Yeah, I can believe that. Generally, like 5 a.m. onwards, there's people in, but then
that's it.
Open from 5 a.m. Like, that's not a hardship, really. I mean, I did the maths on it. So when I used to run the 24/7 gym, and it was roughly 3% of the population comes in between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m.
The population? So, you know, in the world?
Yeah. Of the gym population. But, like, if you... That'd be crowded. So if you just save the money on the air conditioning and the lighting and the additional insurance for being 24/7 and just shut at 10, you're probably better off quite substantially, I would argue.
Especially with the air conditioning, 100%.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. This has been a weird episode. I don't even know what to call this one now. What do we even call this one? There's not really been...
I don't know.
anything
it's
been
too
more
silly.
Of
a serious one, really, hasn't it?
Yeah. The serious one. I think that's what we're going to call it. The serious one.
Just call it the serious one. Binge listening.
Yeah. Just put us out in the background.
If anyone has ever binge listened to this, I want to know. Please let me know. And also why.
The amount of times that we've asked the listeners to reach out to us They never have. And then another listeners.
No.
Tell you what, I'm going to go live now. Right? I'm going to tell you how many countries are listening to us, and I don't mean like the entire country, obviously.
Yep.
But how many countries we've touched? We've touched you.
Do you know how people talk about like the silent majority, all this kind of stuff? We have the silent minority of podcast listeners. Guys, talk to us. We might respond. We could be. Right. We could joke around with you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Fuzz might record you with his smooth voice.
11. How fun is that? 11 countries.
Oh, weird.
United Kingdom.
We had a random country in there. Yeah.
Morocco. Ireland.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Who do you know in Morocco?
Fuck knows. But now we do. And they know us anyway. Poland, New Zealand. We've got a bit of New Zealand in there.
New Zealand?
Spain.
Really? Yeah.
Canada. Maybe it's Ryan Reynolds. You never know.
Ryan, I love your
The only person I know that's Canadian. Philippines.
Really?
Yeah. Well, your voice then. Really? Germany.
I mean, I know German.
They listened to one episode. It was episode 9. Sorry, Japan. Japan. Obviously, they're all like 1% of our listeners.
Yeah, I'm guessing like 98% of it is UK.
92%.
92, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're growing, guys. We're growing, and yet no one wants to fucking talk to us.
Guys, talk to us. If you're listening right now, send a message.
Don't be intimidated by Mike, all right? There's no need. I know he knows a lot. He's a bit of a nerd. But actually, deep down...
That's for the benefit of YouTube only. So if you want to see what face I just pulled, go over there. Like and subscribe. Listen to me.
Look now. Yeah, but earlier on as well in this episode, you're talking about how you don't want to be on camera, but you're taking your OnlyFans business plan extremely seriously.
Do you know what? It's really weird. Like, as soon as I'm just talking to someone on a camera, it's fine. It's if I'm very aware you're pointing a camera at me, I'm like, nope, don't like it.
Well, you don't like it at first, no one does. But then you just kind of interview them. Because what I do with my videography is I just stand next to the camera and I told them, don't look at the lens, look at me. Like, we're just having a conversation. And I think that's a lot more engaging, weirdly. And it's a lot more obvious when you're interviewing someone. Because when you're looking into the lens, it's like a news report almost. Yeah. Like, you're not telling me what the weather is. Just tell me about like yourself.
It's very distracting when you're there sucking your thumb, though. It's just a bit odd.
Sucking a thumb. What do you think I do? I know I'm a bit special. All right? They suck my fucking thumb. Right, well, shall we end things there? 58 minutes in, boom. I'm not even going to edit this again. Do you know what? Fuck
sub
it.
1 hour. We are sub 1 hour.
Yeah.
Do
I need to edit this? I don't think I need to.
Fine.
Fuck it. Guys, again, completely unedited.
Yeah. But I want to know who is listening. If you don't send us a message at the end of this, if you made it 58 minutes into this, after we've asked you many times to send us a message, please keep listening.
Yeah. At Between Sets Podcast, DM us. No rude pictures, okay?
Or give us a comment on YouTube. Let's get the algorithm going in our favour.
Yeah. Like and subscribe, guys.
Yeah, leave a comment that says Fuzz sucks his thumb.
Look, if it trends, it's fine. Bad publicity is good publicity. All right. I'm going to be the next. I'm going to be the Hawktois boy. That's what I'm going to be. That's what I'm going to be. Yeah, and the next in 2 weeks' time, we're going to get on. Well, you've met. I guess you've been talking to her.
Yes, I have.
So we had a suggestion from Ollie.
Yep.
One of our listeners in the UK who suggested, is she an owner of the gym?
She is. So she is a co-owner of a CrossFit gym local to us. So it's CrossFit 249. Thank you to Josh. I'm not sure if he listens, but he is a coach there that I know. So he sent over her details. Named Courtney. So we're just going to be...
Where is that? Is that the one near the Greyhound racing thing?
Not far, yeah. It's in the Eurolink, so yeah, not far away.
Nice. I think I know someone that goes there.
It's moved since where I think you're thinking it is, though. It's now kind of further close to the roundabout.
Oh, I know somebody that goes to a CrossFit place near. She's a photographer that I'm working with at the minute, so we'll see. Cool.
But we're basically going to be picking her brain about gym ownership, CrossFit specifically,
Yeah.
and kind of what got her into some stuff, So it
Yeah,
should be interesting.
baby. Right. Thanks for
That's our
listening,
first
guys.
CrossFitter.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a big fan, I won't lie. And don't you have to pay a premium for just using the word CrossFit in your
Yeah,
thing?
it's a licensing fee if you want to call it CrossFit. So we'll go into it, see if if she feels it's worthwhile.
Odd one, isn't it? Right, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Message us if you haven't already. Just do it now. Do it now!
So I don't want to hear from you if you're listening to this and you come up to me in the gym and say, "Oh, really good podcast, really enjoyed it." No, message me.
Yeah.
Message the
Otherwise, it
podcast
doesn't
page.
fucking count.
Exactly. We need content, guys.
When people come up to
We're
me,
not that interesting.
Because I get a lot of people that I don't work with that want to come on, and I'm like, I don't know if it's kind of like they're just like an insurance broker. I'm like, I don't know if that's going to be full of content. I won't lie to you. We're trying to gain followers, not lose them. But obviously, I didn't say that. I'll just say, yeah, maybe, yeah, because I'm a nice guy.
I mean, depending on what type of insurance broker they are, I could just tear them a new one if you like. Why are you guys such bastards? Why are your premiums going up?
Yeah.
Why do you not pay out for stuff?
But it's gonna have to go that way. If people aren't, the thing is, when people tell me they've listened to the podcast, like people that I network with, I don't believe them. So the first thing I do is, which one? What did we talk about? Like, proper quiz them. What did I say in it? What specific thing did you like about it?
So I had people coming up to me on Saturday quoting stuff from the podcast. I'm like, dude, I recorded that like a week ago. What did I even talk about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They know.
People
we
listen.
don't.
Yeah, it's weird.
And at first, I won't lie to you, I'd say probably first season we recorded, half of it anyway, I had a few drinks beforehand. Because
I made you drinks beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We were basically alcoholics in the first season.
Yeah.
This is the evolution of alcoholism. But now I'm just like, we're quite confident in this now. We don't need alcohol. We just need a coffee or just a cup of milk to get going.
It's 100% milk. Oh, no.
Anyway, right, yeah. I haven't even seen you use your mug, mate. You got an uppy game. I know you don't.
I don't drink tea or coffee. Do you know what? That is our guest mug. So when people come round and they ask for tea or coffee,
really?
they get it. They get it in that mug, and then they look at it and go, "Oh, what's this?" Like, I have a podcast. You should tune in.
You're such a dick. That's amazing.
Listen,
I should put a QR code on the side.
Every avenue's got to be. That's genius. As you finish your mug, a QR code pops up on the bottom, and people can go, "Hold there." Yeah.
Well done for finishing your cup of coffee. Listen to today's episode. Right. Yeah, sorry. I was like, thank you again for listening. And we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks with a guest. Charlotte from CrossFit 249, is it?
Courtney from CrossFit
Courtney.
249.
This is the reason why.
It's either Charlotte, Courtney,
I don't do names. I thought it was Courtney, isn't it? Yeah. Now, do I need to edit it now? Fuck it, no. You all know I'm shit with names. Right, it's Jess from CrossFit 249.
Oh, God.
Courtney. Right, okay, cool.
We're professionals.
we're not.
Network.
We're not getting paid for this, which doesn't make us professionals at this point.
No.
Hopefully one day. Anyway, right, take it easy, guys. Yes, just sponsor us. No matter who you are, you don't even have to have a business. Just give us your money. If you want to listen to us. Yeah, we should start doing it. Just give it. £100 per episode, guys. All going to me, right? Fuzzy Studios. Right, take it easy, guys. Right, catch you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.